Hi, it's MaBee. It's 5 o'clock. You can see it's 5 o'clock from the way the sun is starting to come down on the horizon. It's been a beautiful, beautiful day. I've been on the roof, not a very big roof, but the roof of the barn, you see? That's the roof of the barn. So I've been very careful because I've got a friend who's going to come and help. Got a couple of beams west which are totally rotten, and if we don't do anything it's just going to fall. So I was clearing, and at the same time I pruned the climbing rose bush. So you see, I'm still okay. I was very, very careful. So, and I love being on the heights. As a child I was always at the top of the trees. I would be at the top of the tallest Lebanese cedar. That's where I felt I could really listen to life without the noise of family and noises of the city, whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the glory of the plum tree. That's a beautiful one. It's a golden yellow one. And it's been visited all day by bees, so it's been humming. And then that's one, this one here. That's a different plum tree again. That's that one is a little black one. See, it's tinted with a little bit of I guess a color like a plum. See, isn't that beautiful? Look at that, the abundance of Mother Nature. And the fragrance, I mean, it's so sweet. I'm standing about half a meter, and I'll come closer. And it's filling my nostrils. My little nostrils are just opening because it's so wonderful. It is just magic. No wonder the bees are really feeling, you know, and there's a big bumblebee up there. She's just absolutely enjoying. There's bumblebees, there's 2 bumblebees up there. And as you know, and as you might realize, like all the gardeners who are friends worldwide, well, I've been out because there's such a big garden and there's so much that needs to be done. So I mowed the other day. I didn't do such a very good job because, well, you know, because my back wasn't so good, so I had to wait. And then, of course, I put the blade a little bit too low when I went down the second time, so it looks a little bit like it has had a nasty haircut. It's a bit like my son who completely cut his hair, so he's got a bald head, which I love. It's like a ritual of renewal. There used to be amazing rituals in the olden days that boys and girls used to go through at puberty, and boys in order to move into adulthood. Well, sadly, they seem to have gone out of the window, but my children still have those in their genes. I'm so happy, which means they're still in an organic body. When you are in an organic body, you remember everything from the beginning of times, including right way back to the beginning of the first cells and the division of the cells, as nature started being a living being. And we too are that living being. So isn't that wonderful? So, yeah, the tree from being barren now is totally covered. Well, it's just starting. You can see a lot of them are still in buds. So this is the first week we've had, and this one, it's a little bit later. That's a yellow plum long, a very old-fashioned. All these trees came from a very old lady. Her name was Juliette. She didn't speak French. She used to speak patois, and every time she used to see me, she used to say Ikusibao Maria. And she used to call me Maria. And I used to answer, "Au bas plat, Giulietta." So I am very well, Juliette. And that used to be the Languedoc, the patois, which was forbidden by the governments. So all our dialects were little by little forbidden to be spoken, not only in the schools, so I was told not to speak it at school, but even at home. So our parents could speak it between themselves, but they were not allowed to speak it. So why am I sharing that? Because of the changes from one generation to another. And this is another plum tree. So I've got many, many plum trees, as you can see. And I guess far too many because they have self-seeded. And this one is a magic one. This one is a black plum. I mean, deep black. And on this tree, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And again, it's very different. Very, very different. It's different flower, although it's the same. But this one is just stamens of gold. Look at that. And the abundance of Mother Nature. And the bees are on it. There's a little bee up there, if you can see her. I don't know if you can see her. She's just there. Yeah, she's just busy. And this one is a different sweetness. This one is more like the hawthorn sweetness, if that makes sense to some of you. And what I found a few years ago, it hasn't come back, was the most amazing giant caterpillar, which was golden yellow, turquoise, and it measured about, let me think, 3.5 inches, and it had a body the width of 1 inch. And we took pictures. Well, sadly the pictures are on my other computer who died, so I may not be able to find those. So the birds are very, very busy. They're starting to nest. As I was clearing and moving the tiles, I found a nest from last year, amazingly well built. If I go back on the roof, I will try and take a picture, because the amazing way animals create their nests, so the young ones are 100% protected from not only predators, but from the weather. So as I lifted a tile, there was the nest, which was a good 4 inches deep and about 5 inches wide, and beautifully woven, and with some mud as well. So life, I keep on being absolutely in awe of Mother Nature and what she produces. Look at these beautiful dandelions. Now dandelions are amazing. You can eat everything, and with the flowers you can make the most amazing wine. And the roots, you can even use the roots as well. So dandelions, sadly, were treated as a weed. And this is really not good news, because they are not. You know, we have treated so much of nature as weeds, and then we've gone with our glyphosates. But my garden has none of that. So that's the rosemary and the aubrietia. Look at it, it's in full blossom. So the aubrietia and the rosemary are totally happy. Well, the border got a little bit out of, yeah, I can see I've still got work to do here with the rose underneath. I've done the top. Well, I've still got to do a bit more pruning. But, yeah, and the lavenders, which have been really, really pruned. You know, I really prune them every year right back. And I had taken the nettles, but you see they're back, which means I can have wonderful, wonderful either soup, you can make soup, or you can use them as nettles when they're fresh. So you only pick the first 4 heads and you wash them with a little bit of vinegar water, and they're absolutely full of vitamins, iron, and they're delicious. So that's a Weigela. I think it is a Weigela, it's a purple one. It's a little bit straggly, it's about 30 years old now, but it's doing its very best. It's still a little bit early in the season. And the walnut tree, which is starting to swell. So the walnut tree, sadly, has issues we have called the walnut fly, which lays in the walnut. So every year I lose my crop of walnuts, and I don't want to use toxic products. So it's a huge task every year to collect hundreds of thousands of walnuts and then slowly burn them, get them dry and then burn them. So yeah, so that's more plum trees. So these are the little golden ones. You can see they're very close to the black plums, but the stamen is not the same color. I'm astounded at the variety of plums. You know, if one was to research, I guess one would find many, many. And look who is here. A little bumblebee. Hello, beautiful one. Yes, you are busy. Yes, I guess you never stop. You're a bit like MaBee. And I haven't finished pruning my roses. There's a lot of roses in my garden. I'm a rose woman. I love roses. So you can see it started sprouting very, 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 very much. And well, I've done some of it, you see. This has been done, that too. But I haven't finished the middle here. And I'm going to need to do that this week. And the same with this one. I've still got this side, and I've only done a part of this side. So they're different roses. So there we are, a little tour of my garden. Pansies are still surviving, yeah. And beautiful rose. Oh, it's got little aphids here. Hello, I hope you're going to feed the birds. Yeah, little baby birds. There we are. So we've got aphids. And that's normal, that's part of life. And no, those are peas. Peas are doing really well. Shallots are doing really well too. Salads is coming up. My lettuce is coming up. I'll be able to eat them. I think I should be able to eat one tomorrow. They're starting to have a beautiful heart. See? Only beautiful. And then look at that. That's a peach tree flower. And once again, I'm a little bit behind. I should have pruned that. And I'm not very good at knowing how to prune fruit trees. And I haven't found anyone around here who is good at this. So I tend to leave it because this was a pip, well, a stone from a peach. So I tend to have stones people throw after eating a peach. And then they start and there are trees in the garden. And I love the way it is. I've got one here, and I've got another one over there. See? Which is, yeah, that's the other side of the garden. So that's the blackcurrant here. See? It's starting to swell. I'll try and do some cuttings. And there is another peach, and this one is rather delicious. Look at that flower. Eh? And the lilac, the syringa, is starting to swell. That's a very, very deep purple one. So, and the acantha over there. And the buddleia, which I've really pruned very harsh this year. And I've got plastic on the ground when I work, so I can drop things and then I know where the weeds are. Otherwise, there's just too many areas to tidy up, because this is a very big garden. And this was the wheat and the peas I had planted for Living Joy. So this is wheat. So I'm going to leave it because it's an homage to Living Joy, and then birds will come and eat the wheat. So that came from the litter when Living Joy was in his little house. So that's a memory of Living Joy. So there we are. I send you my blessings. And I'm now going to go in because I've been on that roof, you see. I've been starting to take the tiles and then I'll brush them. I'll brush them another day. Well, of course, the ladder has been moved, but don't worry, I make sure everything is safe. And I'm very, very good at height. And this is not very high for me. Height for me is up there, right at the top. And that's where I feel comfortable. My child loves heights. So, but I have to be careful now, you know. So please, my children and grandchildren, don't worry, I'm safe. So there we go. And I shall leave you with the daffodils of course, which got completely knocked down by the rain we had last week. Look at that, aren't they beautiful? I'm sure you've got some of those. Look, aren't they beautiful? Oh wow. So I've just left them there because, you know, the bees or whoever might go there. And the abutilon, I don't know the English name. So there goes the abutilon. I'm hoping to do some, yes, I will try and do some layering this year. I'm going to cut some and just put it here, just leave it here, like here, you see. It looks as if it's doing a root here, there. And I'll just put a little bag of moss with some peat, and hopefully we'll be able to give some to other people. It's like little Chinese lanterns. Aren't they beautiful? It's very Christmassy, isn't it? Very Chinese New Year's. Yeah, so they're very special. And they have been here, this bush has been here ever since I've been here. And look who is here. There's a nest. See? From last year. Can you see? There's a nest here. I just found that. So, yeah. I leave you with the sun and blessings, and trusting this short video of the garden is really going to lift your spirit, nurture your soul, and offer you some happiness. And it's MaBee.